everybody. Happy day, happy spring. Goodness gracious, we've had some great weather recently, so I'm so glad that we could enjoy a little bit of summer, and I don't want to complain because it's been so warm that I almost need to get my air conditioning units out and put them in the window. I cannot believe I'm saying that already, but it's okay. 'Tis the season to be in Ohio. I think all the time it's like that in Ohio. We never know. I'm that person, I don't pay any attention to the weather on the news because I'm just like, why? It'll be what it's going to be here in a few minutes. It's going to change, but that's yada, yada, yada. So excited. I've got my first responder of the month coming up, and also a young lady who is Miss Baltimore. She is going to be in the Miss Ohio pageant coming up, and you have a way of supporting her and helping her out to achieve that. So you'll find out all about it here in just a minute on Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. It is my first responder of the month, and my first responder of the month is brought to you by Bay Food Market. So very excited to have from the Lancaster Police Department, Officer Chris Koch. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Tina.
So why do you have the pleasures of being the one chosen as my officer of the first responder of the month?
So I'm a day shift officer. Yesterday, Chuck Sims called me and said, hey, are you interested in doing something like this? And I told him yes. He texted me the details, and here I am.
Yay. I'm so glad that the police officers aren't afraid of me.
Not at all, not at all.
Hopefully there's good word on the street about being a guest on the show.
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
I love getting you all on. I just recently became a part of the Lancaster Citizen Police Academy, and that is just a program that is put on through the Lancaster Police Department, and then they have an alumni association where men or women get the opportunity to help in giving back. And the program itself is just to make us more aware of what it is that our Lancaster Police Department does. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We have different people that come in each week that gives us the opportunity to learn more about the inside of the police department. Amazing. You guys are amazing. And I've been doing this now from the beginning, highlighting the police officers. And you being one of them, we are so blessed and we have such a great and amazing community. Why did you decide yourself, Officer Koch, to become a police officer or go into law enforcement?
So being a police officer is something that I've wanted to do pretty much my whole life, as well as other officers. I was always very big into sports, athletics. I like the structure of being on a team, and that's exactly what we are here at the Lancaster Police Department. We are a huge team. So, like I said, through grade school, then middle school and high school, I just like that structure. I love the opportunity of giving back to the city, but a lot about the structures and the teamwork.
Yeah, because and what we have learned too is that with police officers, things in the last few years has been a little bit different. But with it's kind of cool because with the class that we were in, it was the commander of the major crimes unit.
Yes, Dennis Lowe.
Dennis Lowe. Yeah,
Dennis Lowe. And
he just talks so highly about all of what we have here in Lancaster.
I couldn't agree with him more. I think Lancaster is a very good city, a great city, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how long have you been with the Lancaster Police Department?
No, I've been with the Lancaster Police Department for right around 4 years. Prior to that, I started with the Circleville Police Department. So I've been around this area for a while now.
What are some of the things that you do in your job as a police officer?
So my general patrol, I'm on first shift. I'm what's considered an early car, so I start at 6 a.m. I am one of the field training officers for first shift. We have a couple of them. Here lately, I've been training quite a few candidates or rookies that are going on to the next phases. We are the first phase of field training. So we have pretty much all the nuts and bolts. We're organizing the officer, we're teaching them day-to-day activities, and pretty much just telling them how to respond as an officer, what to expect, and setting them up for success as they go into the next phase.
Is it different for each shift, the field training part of it?
For sure. Like I said, we are just the foot in the door. We are teaching them basically the ins and outs of what patrol does, because every police officer has goals and aspirations of what they want to do in their career. However, you need to get those first steps down, and working in the first phase of field training, I believe, is it's a very important phase, because it is setting this officer up for how they are going to respond to the future.
They have other task force or groups that they can add on to a part of their career as well through the Lancaster Police Department, right? But this is you probably don't recommend them to do that right from the start. Right?
It's whatever they want. I think if an officer feels confident enough and they are well enough trained and they feel confident in their abilities, then put in for it. I would never just encourage any officer not to put in for something that they want to do, even if they don't get it the first time. I believe that if it's something they want to do, then yes, continue, because what's the worst that happens?
Right.
Yeah. You're going to get more experience as you go along.
Yeah. I know, talking to Commander Lowe, I learned so much about the different things, and even talking with you beforehand, you have done some dabbling, or whatever, should I say, work with major crimes.
Yeah, so like I said, I am a patrol officer. Through on and throughout, I'm a patrol officer. I have been fortunate enough to have several interactions with the major crimes and work with them on little things here and there, and I think they have a great organization. I think that they're very structured. We have two right now, officers that are actually permanently out at major crimes, assisting with that every day, and I think what they have going is it's above and beyond. I think it's a great task force. Yeah. I think that you all work together as a team, and that's what you had said, and that's what makes it so successful with where we've even come from just a few years ago with the city of Lancaster. And Officer Koch, I remember seeing on social media people making comments about, what are we doing in our city to help those who are addicted? And what is one of the things that I think we're talking about today that is huge? One of the main things we have is Project Fort. And while working on our regular scheduled patrol days, or with MCU, or if somebody's out working DARE, any type of interaction that we have with the community, if we come across someone who is unfortunately addicted to drugs or struggling with addiction, or even knows somebody that's struggling with addiction, Project Fort, Scott Duff there, it is a great organization. You can text them, you can call them. Their number is 740-901-1598, or you could actually text for HOPE with 741-741.
And they've been successful in this, so much so that other states are following in the footsteps of doing what they have been doing now for a few years in Fairfield County. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Like I said, it is a great organization, and it's always one of our first things. We come across somebody who may be in possession of a small amount, or just comes up to us and says, hey, we are struggling with addiction. What can we do? And we immediately say, hey, let's get you in contact with Project Fort. And let me tell you, that is the best feeling as a police officer, knowing that those programs work. And out of all the things that have occurred to me in my career, and anything that I've done in the short 7 years that I have been a cop, the number one best feeling is seeing somebody that you did not know that potentially couldn't make it from addiction, or was struggling so bad that you come across them in a week, a month, or even a couple years later, and saying, hey, you guys really saved my life.
And because you gave them that chance.
Correct.
I think this opportunity.
So, as you mentioned, Dennis Lowe, I can't talk highly enough about his organization, his task force with major crimes, or Project Fort.
He couldn't have talked, I think, any more about the way that Lancaster PD is and what we have in Lancaster. And I was just so impressed, because this is a man who has been doing it, he said, 30 some, almost 40 years in law enforcement and in major crimes and things like that. For a guy who is that seasoned and such a veteran, to say that about a community that I live in was just like, because I know where we live, and I, of course, can say, yeah, I see it because I interview you all so often. But those who are watching the show, they don't get to see that side of it that I'm seeing. And there's such success. We do have the bad. It is out there. It is a tough fight to fight up against. But there is what you were sharing with me. There's hope for those who are addicted. There is true hope. And for police officers to be the ones, because they do see you guys as the bad guys, which I never have. Some do.
Yeah.
But you're there to help them.
And I think that, believe it or not, we have a lot of positive interactions with people who have been in trouble with the law a lot. And we become to know each other on a first name basis. And I have no problem. I come in contact with several people who know me personally, and I know them personally. And you develop a rapport or some type of relationship with these the people that you encounter every day, and you wish nothing but the best for them. You really do, because you start to know them and learn them on a personal level. You know their kids, you know their parents, you know their brothers. You know their animals. So
Wow.
You wish nothing but the best for those people. And like you said, some do view us as the bad people, but some also view us as, I wouldn't even say like a post to lean on.
I see you guys as, of course, protecting me. And us is what I see it.
And I think
as.
it's just going to keep getting better. Our new police chief, Nicholas Snyder, he's going to partner. I nothing but good things. I think that the partnership between us and the community, us between other task force and other agencies and even businesses, is just going to keep blossoming.
For those who are interested, I know you had mentioned the phone number for it, and that are dealing and really seeking recovery, even for a loved one, you do recommend that they reach out to the Lancaster Police Department.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And it could be any police officer. You can flag them down and say, hey, how do I get in contact with Project Fort? Or how do I help myself? Or how do I help somebody, or, that is battling addiction? What can I do? And almost every one of us should just reach out to Fort for them, or give them a number to call Fort.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, before we are out of time, I do want to present you with just a little gift in here, and you can share the goodies that are inside. So I'm doing something new that I haven't shared and done before. I want to start incorporating, because down here with Tina being a positive show and stuff, little cards that are not filled out. Now, because you might be like, I think Tina forgot to fill this out. Actually, what it is that just something that you can pass on to somebody else.
Okay.
So this one just says, have a good day. So, and then it can be your significant other or somebody else in the family that you, and then there's gift card in there from Ava's Jewelers that is downtown Lancaster, and some goodies, some treats that you don't have to share that with anybody, only if you want to.
Okay,
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much
it. Thank
for
you.
everything that you do, Officer Koch, for the city of Lancaster. And folks, don't go anywhere. I will be back in just a minute. It is Down in with Tina.
Bay Food Market is Fairfield County's source for high-quality, locally sourced meats. The meat case is always full of quality fresh beef, pork, gourmet burgers, and gourmet brats for you and your family to enjoy. Bay Food Market cures and smokes their own hams, bacon, and sausage. Visit Bay Food Market at the corner of Maple and Walnut Streets in Lancaster and discover the Bay Food Market difference. Open daily 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed Thursday and Sunday. Bay Food Market, proudly serving Fairfield County families for more than 90 years.
My name is Scott Duff, and I'm the director of the Fairfield County Overdose Response Team, and I'm here today to discuss Narcan. Narcan is the opioid overdose reversal medication. Narcan saves lives. We have saved countless lives in our community by providing Narcan to those with substance abuse disorders. We would very much like you to consider carrying Narcan on a regular basis. Narcan can be obtained easily in your community by reaching out to the Fairfield County Overdose Response Team at 740-901-1598.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I'm so very excited. I have a young lady with me. She is going to compete in the Miss Ohio USA pageant coming up, but right now she holds the title of Miss Baltimore USA. Her name is Jasmine Roach, and I want to share just a little bit about the backstory about how I've gotten to know Jasmine. I have known her not all of her life, but I have known her mother most of her mother's life, and I say that because I cheered with her mother, Melissa, back in high school against her at one of our rivals because I went to Byrne Union and she went to Liberty Union for a little while. And she knew my cousin, who my cousin's a year older than us, but Melissa was just beautiful. And I just remember her. And she has passed it on down to her daughter. And I'm sure that's why she is where she is and what she is doing. We're going to find out all about it. But also, Melissa, that we got together again, because Melissa, well, we caught up in the military years ago. And then we didn't talk to one another. She went on and got married, had kids, and then we just, I don't know, reconnected again. So, Jasmine, I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
So why did you decide to go out for something like this and try for something like this?
Yeah, so I just wanted to really step out of my comfort zone, and I've always wanted a job where I could like help others. So when I was younger, that always to me was like a teacher or a nurse. But as I grow up, I really decided that we're all given these gifts or talents, and being a part of the beauty community as a hairstylist and makeup artist, I get to do that every day. And I think through pageantry, I can create a really positive platform and do just that.
Absolutely. That was awesome. That was beautiful. It is great in order to give back. You do give back and do some things in your community, don't you?
Yeah.
What is that?
I volunteer at Liberty Union's after school program, and I help kids read or do their math or any type of homework.
Very, very nice. And graduating from Liberty Union High School?
Yes.
Right? You went there for all your life?
All my life.
What was it like going to a smaller school like Liberty Union compared to maybe what would have been Lancaster High?
Oh yeah, it was really, you like knew everyone. Like I could probably go down the graduating class and be like first and last name. Like it was so fun, and I just have a lot of close friends, and sports teams were just so much fun to like be with them and just be really close with one another.
Were you in any sports in high school?
Yeah, I was on the cross country and track teams, and I cheered my senior year. It was a funny story actually. So it was during COVID, my senior year, and my sister was playing basketball. And so 2 extra tickets to the basketball games, like so all my parents and grandparents could come now.
That's nice.
My only regret was not doing that sooner.
Really?
Yep, I wish I would have started my freshman year. I was in middle school, but not till my senior year I decided to go back.
So you graduated in 2020?
2021.
2021, so
Yes.
it was just part of the, okay, so it was
Yes.
just part of the whole, you weren't in that graduating class
Yes.
of not getting to really actually graduate because of the COVID thing. So what was it like for you going into, we'll go back to high school here a little bit, into that with COVID just happening for the class of 20?
Yeah, it was really different because we were like learning how to do school online in 2020, and then like part of our year in 2021, like we were trying to do sports with like masks on, and everyone was like, do you have to run with those masks on? We were like, thank goodness we don't have to, but it was a little bit different, but we were still fortunate enough to have our graduation and our prom and things like that.
What is something that folks don't know about you?
I'm actually a twin. I have a fraternal twin sister, and we're polar opposites.
Tell me a little bit about that, being polar opposites.
Yeah, so she is currently a student at Rio Grande University, running track and cross country still, and I decided to go to cosmetology school and pursue like all my dreams and aspirations in the beauty industry, and she's studying sports and exercise, so that's very different.
Yeah. Do you always try to recruit her and encourage her? You can use her as, you know, a model or something?
Yes, I'm always like, please let me do your makeup. Please let me take pictures of it and do your hair. And she's like, but I don't like putting all the makeup on. And I'm like, please, just let me do it.
Let me play with you like a little baby.
Yes.
No, you said she's in running. Does she run from you? Can you catch up with her?
She is a lot faster than me now, so I do have a little trouble keeping up. But
Oh, especially if you're wearing your heels, right?
yes, but I can still run in them if I have to.
That's awesome. That is really fun. So tell me, what all does it entail in being in as Miss Baltimore USA, or to do what you're doing and getting ready to be a candidate and compete in Miss Ohio?
Yeah, so like more of what the competition is?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing we do before we step foot on stage at all is a personal interview with the judges, and then once we do get on stage, it's an opening number. We say like our name, our title, and then we go into swimsuit and evening gown after that.
You do? Okay. Do they have a talent?
Not in this specific organization, but in other organizations, yes.
Can you share a little bit about the organization just for folks? Because we do want to encourage folks because you are looking for sponsorships and such, correct?
Yes. So this is the preliminary to Miss USA. So whoever wins Miss Ohio will then move on to compete at Miss USA, and that leads to Miss Universe.
What do the sponsors get to do, or what do you expect from them?
Well, the sponsors, it does not have to be monetary, but
Okay.
They can buy ads that go into the Miss Ohio magazine, and
Okay.
that's how a lot of sponsorships work there.
And that helps you with what, your gowns and
Yes,
everything?
with
and
wardrobe and headshots and things like that. But I do have a sponsor that did my headshot for me, so I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, good. So
Yes.
if anybody is interested, how would they reach out to you, Jasmine? Or do you want them to just reach out to me directly and I
Yeah.
can forward it on?
Yeah, that'd
to
be
you?
great.
So folks, if you are interested in being a sponsor for Jasmine, and this is really cool that we've got Miss Baltimore, so anybody who wants to put your name out there and to support her in any way, just let me know. You can email me, of course, downhomewithtina@gmail.com, and then I will forward your information on to Jasmine, and she will reach out to you and everything, because I would love to see her, of course, get those, because it becomes out of pocket, does it not?
Yes,
And
it
we
does.
don't want that for you. You're just so. How are things going for cosmetology and stuff so far? Because you just got your license.
Yes, I got my license I graduated in September and got it not long after that, but now I'm at Penzone in Columbus, and I'm assisting someone great. Her name's Susan. She's been doing hair for 35 years, and I'm super grateful to be learning under her and getting the experience.
You know, I'm a beauty school dropout. Did you know that? I totally am. So I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That is awesome to have that confidence, because I say that I was a dropout. I was always afraid of messing somebody's hair up.
Yeah.
Do you ever have that?
That
thought?
fear? Yeah.
Yes.
But you do learn through this whole thing, and getting this extra training is going to further prevent that. So
Wonderful.
it's great.
Anything else that you wanted to share with folks today about you and being a part of this pageant?
I'm just really grateful for this new experience and this opportunity to do everything that I love and kind of combine it into one.
Wonderful. What do you hope to see that, if you do move on into this, maybe changes in your community or even in our state?
Yeah, I just hope that I can become a really positive role model to people, and that I want young girls, even girls older than me, this goes up to age 28, that it's never too late, and that you can keep going and turn those actions and your dreams into a reality.
I love that. Thank you so much for being with me, Jasmine.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And folks, don't go anywhere. I will be right back, and I'll just share some fun things with you. It's Down Home with Tina.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Down Here with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. I would like to thank Fairfield Town Crier, the Good News newspaper, and folks, it is that time of year for yard sales, so if you want to get your hat in, I'd be doing it now. Thank you to Lancaster Campground, Cryo Communications, Ava Jewelers, and the Fairfield Area Humane Society. Folks, being a part of the Lancaster Police Department's Citizen Police Academy has really made me think of not only of what our police department does for the city of Lancaster, but it also reminds me of the importance of talking to our children when it comes to drugs and alcohol. And it was Commander Lowe who actually was our speaker in our class here recently. And with that being said, and being a mom of 2 now adult children, I have been very, very blessed that we, as in their father and I, had instilled in them the importance of not abusing drugs or alcohol. And I think that our approach with it was we were always very, very open and talking with them about it. My ex-husband and I, we would drink beer every now and again, or, have some adult beverages every now and again. So it wasn't like they didn't have it in the family gatherings, there would be alcohol and stuff. But they just always knew about being an adult, and that's when you drink alcohol. The importance of the drinking and driving aspect of it, even when you're young and underage, you can get in trouble for it, period. But when we did the class for the Citizen Police Academy, it was even talking about back then in the 80s when kids did experience with marijuana and things like that. It is different now. The THC levels, and I'm not very educated in that part of it, but it is just completely different of the dangers of what it is and the drugs that are out there today. I, for myself, when my son, even when he was in his late teens out of high school, and he and his buddy came over one time and they were just talking about drinking. And I had a conversation, and I wasn't lecturing or anything like that. I always just said, don't drink and drive. Please, if you are going to do underage drinking, which I did not, of course, encourage that by any means whatsoever. Kids are going to do what kids are going to do, and they're going to experience things. But I just said, have somebody call me if you ever find yourself in a situation. I don't care what time of the night it is. I will not yell at you. I will not scream at you. I just want you home safely. Well, I also made sure to talk to them, just like I was mentioning the marijuana. Alcohol is the same thing. It is different nowadays from what it was back then. Now, we did have our high content alcohol. That's always been something that's out there. However, this day and age, even beer, the craft beers that you have. And I explained to my son, I go, you can have 4 beers, and before you know it, you're a mess. So if you're going to drink, know what you're drinking and be smart about it. Something else I wanted to mention to you as just anybody, anyone, if you do know somebody that is abusing drugs of any type, or if they take prescription, Xanax, or the oxycodone stuff, as we had in our class, folks, fentanyl is being put in some of these, so do not take something that is not yours. Of course, please don't, for your own safety. Go to the doctor, get your prescription, and encourage your family, because this day and age, you don't know what is going to happen. And if it's got that fentanyl, the chances of that, and it's your one time, I'm just going to, so-and-so, I ran out of my prescription, don't take that chance. Your life depends on it, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Don't let one decision end your life, because that's exactly where it could go. So just be smart, and I just wish you the best, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks so much for watching the Down Home with Tina show, and God bless. Good day.